Today we've had the news about Drivers Jonas and Deloitte. What have you made of that?
Well, I haven't had a chance to read the story in detail. I heard a snippet of it early this morning before I came to the reception. And I must admit, probably like many, my jaw did drop a little bit in the sense of it's not just a merger, but it's two different professions coming together. They have said over many, many years that accountants will one day rule the world. And maybe it's one step closer to that happening, I don't know. But I would say it's a very interesting thing, and I'd like to read more about it to see how they propose to merge the two sort of professions to the greater good of maybe both professions moving forward. But the implications for the property industry could be very interesting. Maybe it'll start a new raft of acquisitions for certain companies, because we know that when the American influence came in for the property industry, when one came in, they all felt they had to come in. And if you go right back to the 89-90 period when the banks, building societies wanted to take on estate agencies and everything else, when one had one, somebody else had to have one. So there may possibly be a run on major companies with accountancy firms. For instance, we'll just see what happens. But different cultures, see how they'll sit. Time will tell.
So what's your best guess for who might be next?
Well, I suppose one have to look at either someone who's probably London-based again, someone who's very strong in national presence, who's in good order, or someone who's maybe feeling the pinch and the accountants know it and feel it's going to be good value for money strategic purchase that will actually dovetail pretty well with them. I'm still not sure how the cultures will merge. The flamboyant sort of agency style meets the maybe more reserved, money-orientated and cautious accountancy side of things. But maybe it could be good news. Too early to tell.
It's interesting, but I think quite a logical step in a way, because the corporate accountants don't have the property expertise, and if they merge, then they've got it in-house, haven't they? So,
do you think we might see more of these sorts of mergers going forward, the accountants moving in?
I think we might do, yes. I think especially if some of the larger firms, are struggling a bit financially, it's probably a good move for them.
We've had the news today about Drivers Jonas and Deloitte. So what do you think that says for the rest of the surveying industry?
I think it's a very, very interesting tie-up. We've always been analysing threats to the surveying business coming from accountants getting into property services, and that was something that we analysed as a business probably in the mid-late 90s, and it's never happened. This is probably probably the first of a wave of similar mergers, but I do say that my initial reaction is that Deloitte and DJ probably very closely matched firms. It could be a merger that works well.
Put you on the spot now. Who do you reckon? Give us your tip for the next one.
I can always coming off a fortune for almonds.
Thank you very much for your time, Brad.
Thank you.
I think it's an interesting happening. I don't think there'll be a spate for them. I think there'll be a look see how they get on, and particularly see what their clients think about a one-stop shop on the tax and property side. But I think it's a good thing for the market.
I think that's quite interesting for Drivers Jonas. I think it probably works well for them because they are very strong on the consultancy professional side of the business. I remember 10 years ago we were talking about the big firms, the CBs or the Jones Langs or the D2Zs, tying up with a big firm of accountants 10 or 15 years ago, and that never happened. I think it's quite possible that I can understand why it happens with a slightly smaller company and with a company of the sort of calibre and professional base that Drivers Jonas have. I would still be sceptical that the CBRE or Jones Lang will go down the same route. I can see the synergies between